The governor's power move. We look at 6 months of executive orders and what giving the governor so much control has meant for Colorado. The power trip over playing high school football this fall needs to end. Players and parents are getting jerked around again, and the state has the ability to stop this. We end our work week with Colorado's COVID-19 numbers in excellent shape. Next, viewers are demolishing the student lunch debt in one high-need school district. You can get in on the action and feel great all weekend if you want. And a wedding that vowed to go on through the pandemic and that freaky September snow. There is so much to celebrate if we just look. So let's. Next. Get used to the mask. The governor signaled today that he's going to extend his mask mandate another 30 days. The way that this is working, with the governor dictating so many aspects of life in the name of saving lives, it's a system that's not designed to be in place forever. Yet it's been 6 months since Democratic Governor Jared Polis' first pandemic-related executive order. I can't even tell you how many unilateral mandates he's issued since then, but our politics guy, Marshall Zellinger, counted them up.
Now, as I said yesterday, there's only so much that any government can do. The most important person who can help stop the spread of the virus is you.
That was March 11th, 6 months ago today. Let's go back to that first part.
There's only so much that any government can do.
On that day, Governor Jared Polis issued the first of 177 executive orders related to the COVID-19 response. Executive orders expire after 30 days, so the 177 number is misleading. There are about 40 original executive orders. The majority of the rest extend the order another 30 days or extend and make a slight addition or subtraction. Using the 177 overall number, 34 deal with health care, like when the governor ceased all elective and non-essential surgeries, and then issued a new executive order saying they can start up again under certain conditions. 5 of the health care orders deal with the construction and operation of alternative care sites, like the Colorado Convention Center. 19 of the executive orders address conducting elections during a public health emergency. 13 extended or suspended certain tax deadlines. 8 of the executive orders are about education or child care, like when the state suspended in-person learning last school year and also increased access to emergency child care for essential workers. 7 are socially minded, about alcohol or marijuana sales, allowing to-go alcohol and curbside marijuana delivery. And 6 of them, soon to be 7 after this weekend, mandate masks. First, it was for essential workers. Since July, everyone.
One other issue that the governor has loomed large over lately is when and how high school football will be played in our state. In my view, on that measure, adults have let the kids down lately. Don't care if you think that it would be smarter if they played in the fall or if you think that they should wait to the spring. This business by the governor and CHSAA of hinting at fall football, then yanking it away and dangling it again, it's gotten pretty ridiculous. So while the governor said that he was open to the idea of playing in the fall, the people who actually run high school sports in Colorado said that behind the scenes, the governor and his team would not give them the needed variances that they needed in order to play football. And again today, the governor's floating this idea.
I think there's a window. The window's still open for the additional fall sports that had been talked about, football, field hockey for women. I think that if not every district is ready to do those, but I think many are.
CHSAA Commissioner Rhonda Blandford Green says she's still talking to the governor's office and that she thinks that they're ready to offer those public health variances and additional funding if the districts need it. Perhaps for the sake of the players, maybe the adults could stop talking publicly until they all agree privately and then announce once and for all when Colorado is going to play football. Our state's still holding steady in the fight against COVID-19, so hey, good work, everybody. Our statewide positivity rate yesterday was a little over 2.1%. That's the percentage of tests coming back positive. Our 7-day average is 2.84%, slightly up from where it was a week ago, slightly down from 2 weeks ago. We look at our hospitalization picture, 147 people in Colorado's hospitals with COVID-19. Our 7-day average has hovered around 140 for the last few weeks. Right as you will be receiving your mail-in ballot in October, the candidates for the Senate will debate here on 9 News on October 13th. Republican Senator Cory Gardner and Democratic challenger John Hickenlooper will offer their contrasting views in a debate that will broadcast live on 9 News and to every corner of Colorado on our partner stations. The debate will air starting at 6 p.m. in place of Next. It's an hour-long discussion live from the campus of CSU in Fort Collins. Former Governor Hickenlooper accepted our debate invitation at the end of July. Senator Gardner accepted last night. We're working with a half dozen news organizations to make sure that this debate can be seen and heard everywhere in Colorado. Marshall Zellinger and I will moderate that hour-long commercial-free Senate debate, 6 to 7 p.m. here on 9 News, October 13th. Colorado's ballot information booklet, the Blue Book, will be mailed out at the beginning of October without any changes. Judge today dismissed the emergency restraining order from the people who wanted to change the wording on this. It was a group called Protect Our Homes Colorado, a group that is against Amendment B. They sued the state legislature. They claimed that legislators had made some last-minute changes to that section of the Blue Book, including changing the title from Modify Property Taxes to Repeal Gallagher Amendment. They argue that this new language creates the impression that residential property taxes will not increase, when chances are they absolutely will increase if Amendment B passes. This group now says it's weighing its other options, not sure what those are because the voter guide has already gone to the presses. Today is the day that we remember. We remember the nearly 3,000 people killed in the 9/11 terrorist attacks 19 years ago. Yet the death toll as a result of that attack and the aftermath continues to climb because firefighters across America who responded to help in New York are getting cancers linked to what was at ground zero. Includes a West Metro firefighter who passed away 2 years ago. Our Ryan Harris spoke to one of the firefighters who was with him that week about how protections against cancer for firefighters have evolved.
Like absolutely nothing you've ever seen before, just the amount of destruction.
Steve Azeltine, a division chief at West Metro Fire, was sent to Ground Zero as part of Colorado Task Force 1. Fellow firefighter Aaron Leibarger was with Steve that week sifting through rubble. Leibarger died 2 years ago from cancer believed to have developed after he was exposed to toxins in New York.
We all miss him dearly, and he certainly paid that ultimate price. I have a great amount of respect for his family, and we miss him a ton as well. He was our family as well.
We quickly realized that big buildings like that don't come down without contaminants and asbestos.
Gary Breeze is the executive director of Colorado State Fire Chiefs. He's dedicated his career to improving the fire service nationwide. 9/11 launched a conversation about the cancer risk, a conversation about how firefighters are up to twice as likely to get certain types of cancer.
Firefighters today are healthier, smarter, and more active than firefighters have ever been before. They understand more and more about the dangers of their job.
Dirty bunker gear is no longer a badge of honor. Showering off carcinogens is a high priority after a fight. And in Colorado, there's a trust supporting firefighters with cancer financially, avoiding long workers' compensation battles.
That's not saying that we've arrived, but certainly the conditions in the firehouse, on the fire ground, with personal protective equipment, and people's attitudes and awareness have evolved in a very good way.
It's too soon to tell if the changes will help prevent losing more people like Aaron Leibarger. And Azeltine says the threat to firefighters continuously evolve, but he's hopeful the challenge will be met for Aaron and all those who stand up to serve in the face of danger.
If that call came again today, I would go today. And I believe very strongly that probably Aaron would as well.
For Next, I'm Ryan Harris.
The CDC says that about 19,000 people who survived the 9/11 attacks or responded to the scene of the attacks has developed cancer in the 19 years since, although there's no way to tie all of those cases back to 9/11. More than 1,000 of those people have died. Within the last few minutes, the governor's tweeted out new information about the high school football situation statewide, saying that he's currently working with CHSA to approve variances for football and field hockey. Will develop guidelines or variances for other sports at a later date. At this point, they better play this fall, as this is now either the third or the fourth time in a week that the governor's made it seem like a likely done deal. There are students who are going back to school across Colorado with a debt hanging over their heads, with a bill owed by their families for school lunches. In Colorado's 12th largest school district, Greeley-Evans, the student lunch debt totals $147,000. Or I should say it did total $147,000. Here's the deal. If the district can't get parents to pay, money has to come out of district funds. And they've decided that it's just not right to hound these families for lunch debt considering the economy and the pandemic. And that's why our Word of Thanks microgiving campaign this week is helping to lift away that worry for a bunch of those families. You can still get in on this if you want. If you want to text the word thanks to 303-871-1491, I'll send you the link to donate. Each week is the same deal. I ask if you would chip in $5. I match the first 50 of those $5 contributions. And since we talked about this on Wednesday, Next viewers have given more than $50,000 to wipe away the student lunch debt of families in the Greeley-Evans School District. A note from a parent today said, "Honestly, it makes me want to cry. While this district never lunch shames kids, it's been so hard keeping up, even with friends helping. Thank you so much." That from a parent. From me, thank you. Booing a moment of racial unity? That's not it, Chief. A word about how Broncos fans can show Chiefs fans how it's done.
We thought, oh, it'll be nice, low 70s, it'll be perfect, won't be too hot, but it won't be cold yet.
Well, they thought wrong. 2020 has ruined many a good wedding plan, but it couldn't ruin theirs. Next. Who watched that football game last night? For better or for worse, I think Denver may be defined in a few weeks' time by the actions of the 5,000-some fans who are going to be in the stands at Mile High. I'm talking about what we saw right before last night's NFL season opener in Kansas City, as the players came out and linked arms with each other in a moment of unity in the fight against racial injustice. Heard those boos raining down from the fans in the stands at Arrowhead. I don't believe that most Kansas City Chiefs fans oppose racial equality. But that was the message that was sent by the most vocal of those 17,000 in attendance who booed. Their message is one that we have talked about here before, that there's a portion of America that wants to see black bodies perform without having to listen to the black voices within them. Now, I don't know if Broncos and Buccaneers players are going to link arms for a moment of unity when fans are back in our stands September 27th. I don't know if there's going to be booing from the stands at Mile High. But man, I hope that every one of those fans is asked someday, maybe by a child or a grandchild, "Oh, you were really at a game that year? The year with the pandemic and the protests?" And I hope that child or that grandchild then bravely asks each Broncos fans, "Did you boo the moment of racial unity?"
After a wild week of weather, finally some sunshine for us on our Friday afternoon and evening. Just beautiful. Still are watching a few bands rotating across northeastern Colorado, but the rain and snow, it moves out later this evening, making way for clearing skies and temps in the mid-40s. We'll stay in the 40s across the eastern plains, 30s up in the mountains, and then look at this. As our storm system jets off to the north and east, high pressure building back in, and that's going to bring us a really warm weekend. Tomorrow, it begins 79 with mostly sunny skies, light winds out there, couple spots in the lower 80s with 60s mainly in the mountains. Your 7-day forecast, nothing but sunshine and temperatures close to 90 degrees on Tuesday. We'll hit it next Friday.
The pandemic hit and they had to pivot. The snowstorm hit and they had to bundle up.
It was perfect. We wouldn't have changed a thing.
It was a wedding with hand warmers in September.
If they're smiling, we can smile. And that's how every Friday ends around here. Next. This Friday, your good news begins with a photo of snow-covered patio furniture. I'm quite serious about this. It's totally fine. Molly, she's going to be the one in the wedding dress there, just kind of looked like she had a story to tell. It is a great good news story about a wedding that persevered through a pandemic year and then a freak snowstorm. Molly's outlook is our good news.
The original place we wanted to get married was Okoboji, Iowa, on a 52-foot yacht. Those plans did not work out because of COVID.
We decided to go with Plan B and keep it in state. We decided September 9th because we thought, oh, it'll be nice, low 70s. It'll be perfect. Won't be too hot, but it won't be cold yet.
The sunny and 75 didn't work out. And then it just kept getting colder and colder, and we just said, well, the snow will make beautiful pictures, and they did.
We were freezing during the pictures, but my photographer's able to edit out the purple arms, so we'll be good there.
28 degrees it was when we first walked through the doors to go get married, and it was
brisk.
It was a little chilly.
We wouldn't have changed a thing.
It was a wedding with hand warmers in September.
He's just my person. He's my best friend.
She's the love of my life. Couldn't be happier. My good news is I got married in the middle of a pandemic in the earliest snow in 20 years.
My good news is we were able to get married on Wednesday, and that we have the next couple days off to spend together as husband and wife.
We get to spend the rest of our life together.
Yeah.
Some great photos there. Molly's story, as seen through the lens of our photojournalist, Tom Cole. We always love sharing your good news, so let us know about the best things happening in your world, best stuff in your community. Email next@9news.com, or you can always get our attention on Twitter with the hashtag HeyNext. Neighbors visiting neighbors in the worst of September weather. It is the most Colorado thing we saw today. That and your feedback next. The most Colorado thing we saw today is it snow until the cows come home. Monica says that the free-range cows in her neighborhood were looking for a reprieve from the cold, so they came by her place in Golden Gate Canyon on Tuesday. About 15 of them visit her home once in a while. A few weeks ago when it was in the 90s, she said they were just laying in the shade of her patio. Rich writes, if not the governor, who is going to issue orders to protect Coloradans? Polis is reacting to events. Perfect? No, but better than lying to the American people. Absolutely, Rich. We've scrutinized everything that the governor has said and have not seen him intentionally mislead. And the few times that he's gotten something wrong and we've called him on it, we've watched as they've corrected their message and put out accurate information. Should absolutely get credit for that, 100%. Victoria says, the backlash against NFL players truly shows how some people feel about black people. She writes, for them, sports is the 21st century minstrel show. Ed and Jackie in Arvada write in to tell me, no one is opposed to racial unity. We object to NFL stars showing it on national TV.